Under the olive tree knits, how to add a lifeline to your knitting. A lifeline is a thread that is added to a row of stitches. Think of it as a safety net. Should you need to rip back your knitting, it will catch your stitches and stop them unravelling any further. To add a lifeline, take a large tapestry needle. A blunt needle works best for this. And you will also need a thinner scrap yarn or a thread in a contrast colour. Then just thread the contrast yarn onto the yarn needle. In this video I'm going to be adding a lifeline to a project on circular needles with a stockinette and a yarn over knit two together stitch pattern. If using a circular needle, I find it helps to slide the stitches onto the cable part of the needle, as it just gives you a little bit of extra room to thread the lifeline through. To add the lifeline, take the yarn needle and insert it into the stitches on the needle or cable, running it through each stitch. If you're using stitch markers like I am here, just bypass these and don't thread the lifeline through. You want to be able to still move the stitch markers on the next rows, so we don't want to lock them into a lifeline. The next section is a lace pattern, and it's exactly the same as before, just thread the lifeline through each stitch. Bypass any more stitch markers and then just continue to the end. When you get to the end, pull a good long length of lifeline through. It's important to keep long tails of lifeline at each end. So again, at the other end, keep a nice long tail of lifeline. And then just double check that all the stitches have been caught by the lifeline. Now the lifeline is in place, you can just ignore it and carry on knitting. And there you can see that the lifeline is just locked in place in the previous row. So that's how you add a lifeline. You can add as many lifelines as you want to your project. If working a complicated lace project, I usually put one in at the end of every pattern repeat. They don't take long to put in and can save hours of fixing and frustration if something goes wrong.